The magical world of Oz has once again captivated audiences around the globe, but this time, it's not through the pages of a classic novel or the sparkle of a Broadway stage, it's through the dazzling spectacle of cinema. Wicked, For Good, the eagerly awaited second chapter in the cinematic adaptation of the beloved musical phenomenon, has stormed into theaters with a force that defies gravity, quite literally living up to its fantastical theme. This weekend's release has etched itself into the annals of film history, raking in an astonishing $150 million across North American screens alone, while soaring to a whopping $226 million worldwide. It's a debut that not only shatters expectations but also redefines what success looks like for adaptations of stage masterpieces, proving that the enchanting tale of friendship, destiny, and the blurred lines between good and evil resonates more powerfully than ever in our modern era. Imagine the anticipation building like a storm over the Emerald City. Fans dressed in green face paint and glittering capes, lining up hours before dawn, their excitement palpable in the crisp autumn air. From the bustling streets of New York to the sun-drenched boulevards of Los Angeles, theaters swelled with viewers of all ages, drawn by the promise of more sorcery, soaring melodies, and the unresolved tension left hanging from the first installment. Directed with visionary flair by Jon M, whose previous works have showcased his knack for blending spectacle with heartfelt storytelling, this film picks up the threads of the witch's journey with seamless elegance. It delves deeper into the untold origin story of Elphaba and Glinda, exploring themes of identity, loyalty, and the cost of power in a world where appearances deceive and true heroism emerges from the shadows. At the heart of this triumph are the two leading ladies whose performances have been hailed as nothing short of transformative. Ariana Grande, stepping into the role of Glinda the Good Witch with a blend of effervescent charm and underlying vulnerability, delivers a portrayal that feels both fresh and timeless. Her Glinda isn't just the bubbly blonde archetype, she's a woman grappling with the weight of her choices, her laughter masking moments of profound introspection. Cynthia Erivo, as the green-skinned Elphaba destined to become the Wicked Witch of the West, brings a raw, electrifying intensity to the screen. Her voice, a force of nature that seems to echo through the soul, pairs with an emotional depth that makes every scene she's in feel like a revelation. Together, they form a dynamic duo whose chemistry crackles with authenticity. Think of it as a modern-day echo of iconic pairs like Hepburn and Tracy, but infused with the magic of musical theater. The numbers tell a story of their own, painting a picture of a cultural juggernaut in motion. Friday's domestic haul of $68.7 million from over 4,115 theaters included a staggering $30.8 million from previews, signaling that word of mouth was already working its spell before the official opening bell. This isn't just a win for the film, it's a milestone for the genre. Wicked, For Good now claims the crown for the largest opening weekend ever for a Broadway musical adaptation, eclipsing the already impressive $112.5 million debut of its predecessor just a year prior. In the broader landscape of musical films, it secures the third spot on the all-time list, trailing only the roaring successes of Disney's live-action The Lion King in 2019 and Beauty and the Beast in 2017. These aren't mere statistics, they're testaments to how a story born from L. Frank Baum's whimsical 1900 novel, reimagined through Gregory Maguire's subversive 1995 book, and immortalized on stage in 2003, continues to evolve and thrive in the hands of contemporary filmmakers. Critics have been quick to unpack the layers of this achievement, dissecting what makes the film not just a sequel but a worthy evolution. One prominent reviewer described Grande's performance as owning the narrative, infusing Glinda with a luminous vitality that radiates from every frame. Her quiet moments, those subtle flickers of anxiety or sorrow, reveal a tender complexity, while her unwavering loyalty to Elphaba anchors the emotional core. Erivo, meanwhile, is portrayed as an unstoppable force, her vocal prowess shaking the heavens and her emotional reservoir never dipping below a simmer of intensity. The film's strength lies in its balance. While the first Wicked installment delivered the show's most iconic anthems, this chapter compensates with richer character development, a narrative that tightens like a spell being woven, and production design that borders on the opulent. Emerald greens bleed into twilight purples, costumes swirl with intricate detail and fantastical sequences, like the poignant exodus of speechless animals from a tyrannical regime, unfold with breathtaking visual poetry. Yet, no triumph is without its whispers of dissent, and the conversation around Wicked, For Good has been as multifaceted as the Land of Oz itself. Social media buzzed with a spectrum of reactions, from ecstatic praise to thoughtful critiques. Some viewers lamented the pacing, feeling it meandered at times like a lost traveler in the woods, or questioned the necessity of the two new original songs introduced to the score. No Place Like Home and The Girl in the Bubble, performed as poignant solos by Grande and Erivo, aimed to expand the emotional palette but landed differently for different ears. One online commenter quipped that these additions felt like uninvited guests at a familiar feast, disrupting the flow of cherished classics. Another expressed genuine disappointment, calling the film a letdown after the high bar set by Part 1, their sadness palpable in the digital ether. And then there were those who pondered the artistic choices, wondering if the composer could have pushed further into uncharted musical territory rather than playing it somewhat safe. But for every note of caution, there are choruses of acclaim that drown out the naysayers. A top-tier critic bestowed upon it a perfect 5-star verdict, declaring it not just as impressive as its predecessor, but potentially superior in its execution. The visual splendor is extravagant, with sets that transport you straight into the heart of Oz and costumes that shimmer like spells cast in sequins. The animal exodus scene in particular stands out as a masterclass in cinematic empathy, rendered with such care that it tugs at the heartstrings while dazzling the eyes. Above all, the leads are magnificent, their performances poised to sweep awards season with the inevitability of a cyclone. Even those offering balance takes acknowledge the film's strengths. A hilariously choreographed fight sequence that blends slapstick with sincerity, vocal deliveries brimming with star power, and subtle nods for die-hard fans of the stage version, including fresh musical flourishes to savor. Zooming out to the international stage, the film's global appetite is equally voracious, pulling in $76 million from overseas markets. This catapults it to the highest global opening for any Broadway adaptation and the 5th largest debut in musical film history, rubbing shoulders with juggernauts like The Lion King, Moana 2, Frozen 2, and Beauty and the Beast. It's a reminder of the story's universal appeal.